Welcome back to another episode of your favorite show. It is the LaVar Walker Daily Show podcast. How are you? And thank you for showing up again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The show has really been picking up steam. People are really coming in, man, to hear me talk. And listen, man. Thank you all. Had a great day today. Took my son. He had flag football practice today. I sat out there in 100-degree heat and watched him do his thing. He wasn't too bad. It didn't feel like I was going to faint or nothing like that. But after about an hour, I did go sit in the car in the AC. And you know what? You go to these things at these schools with your kids, and I'm gonna say, man, parents are weird. It's some weird ass parents, man. I wonder if the parents at his school think I'm weird too. I think that might be it. We just all, I guess you get older. The older you get, you fear human beings. You just get scared because people just become creepy at a certain age. Like you meet like nigga, I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to be your friend. I'm sorry. But this is what happens a lot of times. People are creeps. And I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? You have to just have your guard up. But my son had a good time. He was out there, catching the balls with the rest of the guys. It was good to see him get some activity and do what he does. I'm not the most athletic guy. Hopefully, he'll be more athletic than dad. I don't really have too many athletic genes to pass down at my height. But hopefully, my son will live his dream. Whatever he wants to do, I'm all for it. I want to get into this today, man. Today, I saw that Jimmy Fallon. It was reported that Jimmy Fallon has been very mean on the job. He has encouraged a toxic workplace environment. Now, I heard this too about like Ellen DeGeneres. You see these people come out on NBC and these shows, and you see them, they're happy and they're typically dancing. And it seems to be a great thing as the viewer, but behind the scenes is typically dark. Now, I'm gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate, right? And then get to why. Why would these big time stars that make all these millions of dollars be mean, right? So, number one, you could make a shit ton of money, right? And if you get, I don't give a fuck how much somebody pays you, but over a period of time, if you're working and you're not necessarily happy, the money really doesn't matter. I'm saying this to say that when you look at these shows, when you look at the late night shows, that's been running for hundreds of years, it seems like. And then today, these late night talk shows serve no fucking purpose. I mean, I don't even know why the shit is still on the air, but it is. And you would have thought that Jimmy Fallon will be a mean person, like cussing out the staff, but he's under pressure. There's a lot of pressure with that shit. Every day, Monday through Friday, you gotta get there. You gotta meet the guy with the notes. You gotta sit down. You got to talk to the writing team. You gotta talk to the person that craft services. And you have to like just be on inside of this studio because I've worked a little bit in Hollywood. I'm not a Hollywood guy, but I've been on some shows. I've worked, and the guy is just probably under fucking pressure. Could you imagine just being stuck in that shit? It's almost like radio. Who the fuck listens to radio? Somebody called me about a radio job, and look, I'm not knocking. It's what it is. We're just in a different day. They call me an asshole 'cause I said, they talked to me about radio, but I said, who listens to it? I don't listen. I don't listen to it. I can't. Shit, I got a Tesla. There's no radio I can't find a station. And this is what has happened. So things have changed. And let's just go over this. Uh, I'm gonna share this here as you can see. That's Jimmy there, and this was the article in the in the Rolling Stone in regards to him. Chaos, comedy, and crying rooms inside Fallon's Tonight Show. Oh man. Tense day on the set, Tonight Show. The host was warm and congenial. Presence on screen was acting especially dismissive. And now we in such a time of you can't even be fucking mean. You can't, this guy's a big star. He under tremendous pressure. He could be having nervous breakdowns behind the scene. Every day cannot be a happy day. If every day is a happy day and this person he's not even human. And what was happened in this overly sensitive culture, mean is you can't be mean to me. You're being mean. And he's like, well, what the fuck? I gotta carry this fucking show on my back. I don't, nobody's listening to me. Everybody's listening to fucking Rogan. What the fuck? He's having a breakdown because he's in golden handcuffs on this show. I don't really have a reason. I used to watch Carson with my grandmom and shit back in the 80s, even the 90s, early 2000s. But we're just in a day and age where everything has been disrupted. And it's a great time because now I can come over here and just talk to my people. And I don't need to be like with a bunch of NBC guys with clipboards and agents and managers and all that shit. So it's a piece. It's a piece. Am I making millions of dollars? No. But I'm enjoying what I do. But let's get into this. So they said the host, known for his warm and congenial presence on screen, was acting especially dismissive and irritable during production meetings. A former longtime employee tells Rolling Stone. Then he stumbled through rehearsal in front of a studio audience who typically sit in on rehearsals for the late night show. Employees who spoke to Rolling Stone about their experience working on the Tonight Show says it's common knowledge behind the scenes that there are good Jimmy days where Fallon's wit and charm and creativity on full display, and bad Jimmy days. That's when Jimmy turns into a monster. That's when Jimmy does it. I guess the bad Jimmy days are when Jimmy. I can't even do this. I don't even think my voice thing will work. I wanted to do the. Hello, I'm Jimmy Fallon. This is a bad Jimmy. I don't even know if y'all heard that, but that was like my little thing. But anyway, they say Fallon seemed to be confused during rehearsal that day in 17 when he crossed out jokes on a piece of paper he was holding, right, riffed with the audience for a bit, then quizzically looked back down at the same sheet of paper. He couldn't remember he had just crossed it out himself. The employee said, oh my God, he seems drunk. He doesn't know what he's doing. This could be awful. This could be the end of the show right here. Another staffer says they too witnessed the incident from a live studio feed inside their office. According to 2 current and 14 former employees, the Night Show has been a toxic workplace. And it's toxic because you have these corporate execs with their foot on the necks of Jimmy and everybody going down. And I believe that these late night shows are cooked. They don't serve a purpose. They just don't. They no longer serve a purpose. The internet is pretty much leveled the playing ground in all facets of entertainment. Um, all facets. Like any motherfucker buy a camera, a mic, you on and popping. This is what has happened. So these pressures that they're under, they're being beat with a stick probably by these places. They say the ugly environment behind the scenes starts at the top with Fallon's erratic behavior and it's trickled down to his ever-changing leadership teams. And they've had 9 showrunners in the past 9 years who simply don't know how to say no to Jimmy. Of course, they don't know how to say no to Jimmy because they want to keep their fucking job. He's the boss man, dummies. Who's going to stand up to the boss man? Right? These showrunners making what, $1 million a year? Hey, fuck it. They going to let Jimmy have his way. Understandably so. The Tonight Show is a tense and pretty glum atmosphere with some alleged they were belittled and intimidated by their bosses, including Fallon himself. Employees describe being afraid of Fallon's outbursts and unexpected, inconsistent behavior. Many of these staffers voiced their concerns through HR complaints. Get this off of here. But problems at the Tonight Show persisted. Several employees say their mental health was impacted by the experience. The staff said it was commonplace that people joking about wanting to kill themselves. They would refer to guests' dressing rooms in the office as crying rooms because that's where they would go to let out their emotions when they were upset. It is a very, very listen, and I'm not gonna read all this shit. I have been in some of these studio environments. I've been to some of these big corporate entities, and in those offices, it is a very sterile and serene environment. It's literally like all about the money and shit. It's a sad place, man. Cause I visited a place. I'm not gonna say because I'm still climbing up the ladder and I gotta hustle a little more before I really talk how I want to talk. I'm just gonna keep it a bean. But yeah, there were these environments were very, very toxic. You know what I mean? Like you go into these offices and it's all cold and shit. And ain't nobody talk. They wouldn't even let people talk. Like it was like, what the fuck? What is this, man? It looked like you in some type of inside some type of fucking weird show or something. Like the people were nice in the office, but you can tell that everybody was on fucking eggshells, and it was really, really sad. What I think, Jimmy, and to all the Tonight Show hosts, I just really think y'all should throw a hat in, start your own podcast, leave that shit, man. You should have enough money in the bank, walk away. Because I don't even think the late night shows are serving a purpose anymore. We are being overwhelmed by so much information so fast every day. It does not stop. So I really don't know. And the podcast, these podcasts like Rogan, they have killed that shit. It's done. It's like cooked. That's why they never had Rogan on the late night show because they don't want to admit to the defeat. That shit is done. Tom's like, man, you don't want to do a late night set? I said, no. For what? I just get on YouTube. I don't really care. I don't see that ice is colder anymore. I just don't. I don't. Because the basis of being a comedian is to put asses in seats. And back in the day, you do a Tonight Show set. Listen, man, you talking 70s, 80s, even early 90s, maybe even early 2000s. People would go on these shows and they were able to sell tickets, man. You know what I mean? Like they would sell out the comedy clubs that people will find out about it, but it's not effective. I mean, you do a late night set, that's just equivalent to you doing a regular YouTube set. Your life isn't gonna change. Nobody gives a fuck. I mean, maybe other comedians, but like, wow, you did a late night set, from, older, but who cares? Like, I don't know if that necessarily increases your bottom line as far as the business is concerned and stand up. But moving right along, I got to watch that Tyrese Breakfast Club interview, and I was like, my God, I had to gasp. Uh, I was like, my goodness, man. Our brother Tyrese, man, is a special brother. Um, Looks like he has a lot on him. But I would tell Tyrese, I say, bro, you really need to look in the mirror and probably take a little bit more self accountability, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it can't be everybody. Like when you talk to a person and they're pointing fingers at everybody but themselves, like I feel like it's always empowering for a person to take full responsibility or blame themselves for everything. When you like, it's just empowering. You know what I'm saying? So like, if some shit happened or whatever, listen, just own up to the shit. Now I'm sitting here watching this Breakfast Club interview, and him and DJ Envy, they were kind of going back and forth. I guess they might have had a past beef. Tyrese said he saw what was going on in DJ Envy's marriage and helped DJ Envy during that time. And I'm guessing during that time, Tyrese's marriage must have been falling apart because he's divorced. So that's just like my fucking house is on fire. and my neighbor's house is burning down, and I leave my wife and child to burn, and I go somehow to try to put the water out at the neighbor's house. I don't know what kind of sense that would make, but it makes zero sense to me. They going back, and then for like I don't know about y'all, but I'm a grown ass man. And if I got some issues in my house, that shit staying in my fucking house. I don't, I'm not about to let some nigga talk to me and tell me what the like he literally let Tyrese tell him, get a violinist and do dinner and wine, and I'm gonna come over to sing to your wife. And I just can't believe Envy even did that shit. I'm like, nigga, fuck out of here. Like, nigga, no. You know what I'm saying? I got to deal with these problems and I'm not having you over. So then in the interview, they ended up falling out because I guess Tyrese must have said something crazy to the wife. And then he's blaming all this shit on mental health and medications. And it just went on to the point where DJ Envy told Tyrese he wanted to box his mouth. Okay, like whatever I hear, brother, about to want to like. Typically, a brother be like, "Man, I gonna slap the shit out you, but." You know what I'm saying? That's typically what it is. I slap the shit. Why I want to slap the shit out you, man. You know what I mean? That's a real response. But like the way Andrew, yo, it was wrong. I want to box your mouth. How that shit don't even sound tough. How do you say you want to box my mouth? You want to box my mouth? The only way that could even come out if you go, I want to box your mouth, man. And when you say that shit, it's like I'm gonna turn, go like, okay, come on, hit daddy in the jaw. Like it was just, oh God, it was just a headache. And look, I don't know what happened in the man's marriage, but from listening to him in several interviews, several online outbursts, I think his ex-wife is in a better place. I think she fucking escaped. To be honest, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I really don't give a fuck. I'm gonna start talking more shit on here because ain't like none of these niggas coming to save me. So I'm gonna let y'all know how I really feel. The more and more I get deeper into this shit, I don't really care. I'm not trying to form any alliances. It's just me and you guys. I'm here for the fucking people. I don't care. That nigga is bad shit fucking crazy. And he needs help. He just needs to take some accountability, chill. He say you don't drink or smoke, but nigga, you need to take a gummy. Some people who don't drink and smoke, you ever met a person, they don't do nothing. They don't drink, no alcohol, they don't do nothing. I don't do anything. I drink water. And they so fucking uptight, and you think this, motherfucker, you need to drink something, man. You need to calm your ass down. You need to stop being so damn serious about yourself, taking life serious, because life is short. We all gonna die. It does not matter. You might as well enjoy this shit. So he needs something. He needs that. And I'm listening. I'm like, this shit is just too much. That's a overbearing friend. That nigga is really Jody from Baby Boy. That's really him. Because you think about it, right? I was thinking about it. He said, I mean, my wife, she just left. She left. You know what I'm saying? I came home, everything was gone. I mean, there was nothing. There was no explanation. Now look, I'm not saying that this is not true, but I will say this, right? If you are a multimillionaire in a goddamn mansion, okay, with a waterfall, pool, a jacuzzi, a big transformer in your house, maids, butlers, the Ferraris and Bentleys in the yard, and your wife leave your ass to go get an apartment, bruh, that was you. And I'm not saying the brother cheated, but goddamn, ain't no woman. It's hard for a woman to leave. Shit, it's hard for a woman to leave a nigga with a basic house, just with a nice garage. Shit, she don't want to. She gonna put up with a lot of shit. But for her to say, man, I'm fuck this. I'm getting the fuck out of here, and just it sounded like she escaped. It didn't sound like she was That woman escaped this nigga. That's what happened. She escaped. You know what I'm saying? And listen, man, I don't know. I don't know, but that was a very, very odd fucking interview. And Tyrese has to learn, look, man. He was saying that since he famous and shit, he wanna bleed out loud and we need to normalize men crying and bitching in public. But I don't know how that helps because even being a high level celebrity, any type of person with any type of fame, or just a regular person, when you put all your problems and shit out on Front Street, it just opens you up to be beat down even more. You just open yourself up to more judgment. It's like the more you put this shit out, the more judges you have. Like you were just in this courtroom with a million judges and they just you standing there and they just tearing your ass down, especially if you're a big celebrity because you get assholes like me who can talk about this shit for clicks and likes and all that shit. This is what happens. So it's best to just be strategic. Man, sometimes you gotta take some shit to the chin. You can't really, you can't wear your heart on your sleeve, especially in entertainment. This is a game that requires stoicism. It requires you to be stoic. If you don't know what stoic means that you just remain, you don't get emotional, you remain stable through the storm. And that is what this requires because you gotta play the long game with this shit. So I don't know. Those breakdown and nobody has empathy for no multimillionaire crying. Life too goddamn hard. The shit, gas is high, milk is high. Ain't nobody giving a fuck about no millionaire shit, no tears. And that's just the real. That is life. That is life. No privileged nigga crying, what money you want from me? Nigga. People living in the street. Anyway, that just really burned my ass. And I just wanted to get that off my chest, man. Also, I talked about this earlier, but yo, like, there's a real teacher shortage amongst us. Even my son's class size had increased, and that was interesting. But there's a real teacher shortage. Like, teachers are leaving the profession. They are leaving. Okay, and understandably so. Understandably so. These people are not being paid enough money. Um, get this damn. I gotta put a ad block on here because I'm gonna be sharing this with you guys. But this is by the Economic Policy Institute. The teacher shortage is real, large, and growing, and worse than we thought. This is a major problem that's going to impact. First, it's going to start with us as Black people. It's definitely going to impact our communities first because you're going to get to the point where you're going to have to either homeschool your children or you're going to have to hire a straight private teacher. I don't blame these teachers. The way these market conditions are, these teachers fighting with the, you got to go to school. You've gone to school. You become a professional to give back to the world through education, and these people are showing up. They're underpaid. They're fucking having to fight with these students. They can't even fight them. They got to just stand and get their ass kicked so they don't lose their job. Dealing with unruly parents. It's fucking ridiculous. You can't blame these people for leaving. And these are smart, educated people. So you can't blame them for leaving. But it's going to collapse. We're going to get to the point where this shit totally implodes. Public schools are bad enough, but it's going to get worse because the people that they're going to have to hire. So let me read this. The teacher shortage is real, large, and growing and worse than we thought. When indicators of teacher quality, certification, relevant training, experience, etc., are taken into account, the shortage is even more accurate than currently estimated. With high poverty schools suffering the most from the shortage of credentialed teachers. Why it matters: the shortage of teachers harm students, teachers, and the public education system as a whole. Lack of sufficient qualified teachers and staff instability threatens students' ability to learn and reduce teachers' effectiveness. And high teacher turnover consumes economic resources that could be better deployed elsewhere. The teacher shortage makes it more difficult to build a solid reputation for teaching and to professionalize it, which further contributes to perpetuating the shortage. In addition, the fact that the shortage is distributed so unevenly among students of different socioeconomic backgrounds challenges the U.S. education system's goal of providing a sound education equitably to all children. I mean, this is getting bad. Um, they were saying too that some schools, shit, they just hiring anybody to come in there and teach. Just anybody with a high school diplomas are now showing up to teach. These people aren't getting, you don't even have people with certifications, nothing. You got people coming out with fucking criminal records and shit. You're gonna have pedophiles teaching your kids. All of that, man. All of that. And it's only gonna get worse. And where it did my little mouse go? Did it come back? Oh, there it is. Let me take that off of there. All right. Yeah. So it's only going to get worse. We really got to do something. And this really, it just opens up a system of, like I said, I said that the middle class is totally evaporating as the education and healthcare systems begin to rapidly deteriorate. So will that it's going to be a synergistic, a additive effect on the economic gap further widening. So what will end up happening? You're going to have high crime, the breaking, all that shit. It's just all fucking imploding. And we got to do something about this shit, man. It's getting bad. It's getting real bad out here. I'm a, I'm a, yes, they just, yeah. Yep. They hiring anybody. Shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. They just hiring anybody and everybody to be a teacher, man. You get pedophile truck drivers coming in that motherfucker to teach your baby mathematics. Yeah, come on, I'll help you. You need help with your homework. You can make me right back here. Listen, after class, you come on. We gonna go over your schoolwork. Shit. It's bad because when that boy got punched in the stomach, that football coach had punched that boy in the stomach. And I was talking to my wife about it. And I said, did they fire him? My wife said, fire him? He was a volunteer. Shit, you can't even fire him. Right? You know what I'm saying? It's so sad, man. Yeah, the middle class is pretty much over with. This shit is a sad, sad place. I also too want to talk about the passenger on the Delta flight that had diarrhea. So recently, Delta had a flight that had to turn around because a passenger was shitting profusely, and I don't even know. Like, I'm sure this passenger, you know how much you got to apologize, depending on what row you sitting in. Let's just say, for instance, you in the middle of the plane. And the bathroom, you either got the one up front in first class, which you can't use, or you gotta walk your shitty ass to the back. And you're trying, you're not you didn't purposely catch this flight to shit all on the plane. You got on the flight because you wanted to get to your destination, but you ended up having loose gut. Now with loose gut, you're just wow, I'm so sorry. Like, could you imagine how this person was apologizing and crying and embarrassment and people? Because most of these flights be packed and they running and shit is flying everywhere. And it got so bad to where the stewardess had to call the pilot to turn the plane around. To turn it around. Because your shitty ass, you couldn't hold that shit. They couldn't give him no oatmeal or nothing. He just shit everywhere. And oh my God, if this was, and I can I bet you, I don't know who was doing the shitting, but I bet you it was that middle seat motherfucker. That middle seat man, that shit. Listen, them two people had to like. I know they smelled it at first, and then just, oh my God, I'm so sorry. He had to look to both people. God, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Ah, like he running up and down holding his stomach and just can't. I know he was like, please. Oh, I know his ass muscles was tight. And he tried. He had everything he could do. His pelvis was tight, but he couldn't. It just leak it all out and just shit flying. Oh, what a horrific I wouldn't wish that shit on nobody. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. I had to do a show in Memphis. I flew to Memphis. So my dumb ass, before I get on the plane, I went and had me a burger, a beer, and some water. Sitting on the plane, flight was time. It was time to go. Bladder was cool. Bladder was cool. Get on the plane, sitting down, chilling. The plane begins to roll on the tarmac. My bladder goes, "Hey man, it's time." And I'm like, "Oh my God, please." So I begin to rock back and forth. I even do a dance. I start to do a dance because a lot of times you can divert. If you just do some energy, some hand movements, you can divert all that shit from your bladder. So that I literally had to do this because when the plane is driving on the tarmac, getting ready to take off into the sky, your ass can't get up. You can't pee. And I had on my hoochie daddy shorts. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm rocking. My bladder is just, it's exploding. Like the contractions are coming. It's getting harder and harder and more intense to the point where I had to put my hands in my pants and like clamp my dick off so I wouldn't piss all over myself and all over the plane and the people that were sitting next to me because I had the window seat and I had two other people there, and it would have been horrific. So I sat there and I rocked. I think the people looked at me, they thought I was having a seizure or some type of nervous condition. Nobody said anything. Nobody even questioned what I was doing. They might have thought I was a drummer. I'm drumming. I'm running. I'm doing the cabbage patch. I'm rocking back and forth, back and forth. I'm going fast. Like, cause when I really had to pee, I just had to sit there and act like I'm running. I took my hat off, my glass. I'm sweating profusely. Oh my God. And then that plane finally hit. Bing. Listen, I jump up. I jump up, hand in pant. Hand on, my hand is on my dick. And it is wrapped up. I got that thing. I done choked it off. And I'm walking and I said, look, I looked at the flight. I said, man, I have to piss. Have to piss. And I was walking towards first guy and he saw the look in my eyes. And he just said, fuck it, go ahead. Oh, and it felt so good. I got in there and I pissed. Oh, it felt, boy, when you get older, man, when you piss, it feels so good. I just thank the Lord. Lord, thank you for letting me get this out of me because it was just, man, I had to go. You know what I'm saying? So I can imagine what Shitty Man was going through on that flight. He gonna have to get counseling for that. And I'm surprised there was no video. Well, that's a good thing. They didn't put him on TikTok. Cause that would have been horrific. Like, cause that shit would have did 79 million views. And they was like, Bob, that's you. He been at work. Bob, look, man, I see you on. You're shitting on Bob, shitting all over the plane, man. Like that's literally what would have happened. Oh man, that was hard when I dropped that. But yeah, that was interesting. Also, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but Saudi Arabia is getting ready to buy America. That this shit is happening right now. Um, well, first, the first thing that's been interesting with Saudi Arabia, besides Dubai. You know, Dubai is beautiful. It's an ultra advanced country. I mean, it's beautiful, but people they don't look what's going on behind the scenes with the slaves that they have from other countries. I'm not gonna call them slaves, but people that are building up Dubai typically work for a super low wage, and when they go over there to work for those hotels take their passports so that they're not able to leave because they need them there to work. But anyway, the Saudi Arabia, like Saudi Aramco is like the largest business in the world. I mean, they got like hundreds of billions of dollars. They made more money than Amazon. And then they have what's called a public investment fund. In that fund, I don't know, it's about a trillion in that fund. That fund owns about 60% of the electric car company, Lucid, and it's also made investments in golf. If you know, the golf program Live was there to buy the PGA. So they giving these players like $1 billion, like they paying soccer players $1 billion contract for a year. Uh, they buying golf. They look like they're gonna buy up all the entertainment. I think Beyonce came over there, did a concert for an hour for like 20 million. Like they buying this shit up, and that's a monarchy. Like a lot of shit is gonna change if they own us. There's gonna be a lot of shit to change, and it's gonna change very, very rapidly. And the people in Congress are trying to do something, but they just buying them off too. So I don't know where we're headed. I don't know, but it's quite scary. LeBron James was just spotted over there talking to them, and he said shit, he'll go over there. And it was like a rumor that they offered James Harden $1 billion for the year. This was a rumor, like, right? And then you see LeBron popping. Like, how ironic is that? You just see LeBron over there with these guys. Like, they gonna have a super league. They just gonna start buying motherfuckers up. They don't need to buy nothing but about 4, 5 players, and everybody gonna go. Everybody going for the bag. So at this point, they'll be able to pay some of these guys where they probably worth as much as an NBA owner. Like it's getting crazy. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. But I guess we can wrap this up, man. A lot of people pulled up. I'm trying to see, I see y'all in the comments. So how do you guys like the podcast so far? We've been going for a while now. This might be the 15th or 16th episode. But let me know how y'all like it. I want to look for some things I can do a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? I got the studio. I'm gonna make this wall blank right now and give me some pictures and shit, and I'm gonna try to make that better. But yeah, if y'all, I'm open for all kind of recommendations or whatever I can do to make it better. And also, I'm gonna be at the Atlanta Comedy Theater September 29th to the 30th, man. Y'all pull up on your boy, man. Get them tickets September 29th, 30th at the Atlanta Comedy Theater. I'm gonna keep, pushing that show. Hopefully we can get that to a sellout and we can have some fun. I want to shout out Isla Ellie. Thank you for that. Thank you, Willie Barnum. Eric. No, that's Eric. No, Willie. This Eric. Thank you, Eric, for tuning in. Shout out to Travis Allen. He been tuning in every show. Ty, Gemini. Come on, man. Salome Council. Appreciate you, brother. Shout out to all my people at YouTube, Ro, Ty, Gemini. We just building it. We just building. We building and building, man. I appreciate y'all pulling up on me. And we gonna wrap this up, man. So this has been another episode of today's show, man. Y'all tune in tomorrow, Friday. I've been trying to get them out Monday through Friday. I'm wondering if I should just do like a dedicated time every day. I don't know if y'all, how that would feel, but I'm still trying to figure it out. So please leave some comments. Also, this is streaming on Spotify, Amazon. It streams everywhere, and you can, answer questions about that. Let me see. So YouTube, what we got here? Somebody saying some in these comments. So YouTube is on auto suggest on that. What it does is even if I click on your video, the next video with somebody else, it should be another of your videos. Interesting. I don't know what to do with that. I gotta see. Dedicated time in here, but I know what time to reach. Yeah, I don't know why that does that. Well, Willie say dedicated time in here, but I know what time to reach you. Your numbers go up. You say my numbers go? I don't understand. Explain that, Willie. I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. Explain that for me. You said my numbers go up. Very interesting. Willie, I'm waiting for you. Well, anyway, I don't want to add too much dead air here. Well, guys, this has been real. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. We're going to see what else this crazy world brings us. So, this has been another wonderful episode of the greatest podcast on earth, the LaVar Walker Show. So, tune in, listen. I appreciate each and every one of y'all from the bottom of my heart. Also, once again, Atlanta Comedy Theater, September 29th. On your time set. Oh shit. Yeah, this was late. So look, once again, Atlanta Comedy Theater, September 29th and 30th, man. Y'all pull up on your boy, get those tickets. Well, tickets are moving, so please get tickets. Please come to see me at the Atlanta Comedy Theater, where I do good show. I bring very good show. You laugh, you get funnies, you have giggles, and we're gonna make it work. So, man, thank you guys, and that is the end of my show. Good night. God bless.